This, my friends, is the practice mystery circuit. It is held together by hopes and dreams, so I hope everybody's gentle with it. The only way you should touch the power supply is to power it on, and otherwise please do not make any adjustments. You'll blow out the bulbs if you do. The first observation you make when you first turn it on, though it might be tough to see in the video, is that with both switches closed, you see a very dim, bright, and then dim bulb. I hope that's coming through on video that you can see. We've actually got a really dim bulb there and a really dim bulb here. Then what I want you to do is start interacting with the elements to try and decide what observations you can make. So you want to open and close switches and unscrew and replace light bulbs. The first switch on the left-hand side, open it, everything shuts off. That should be a big hint there about how this guy's connected. Now, once again, I'm back to dim, bright, dim. Unscrew this bulb. These two bulbs are now equal in brightness. Replace this bulb. Now we're back to dim, bright, dim. Unscrew this guy. Everybody turns off. Back to dim, bright, dim. Let's open this switch and see what happens. This guy turned off. This guy is now equally bright as this guy. Now we're back to dim, bright, dim. Unscrew the last bulb. Sorry, let me restart that section. All right, dim, bright, dim. These two switches are closed. Unscrew this guy. These two are now equal in brightness. And you can also play around with doing two things at a time. Like, for example, if I have this bulb unscrewed and this open, everything is off. If I replace this bulb, while this switch is open, this light is once again off. We made that observation previously. You're going to continue making observations and trying to infer how this is connected. The correct answer is over here on the board. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to explain how these observations explain what you see on the board. So you should stop the video right now if you do not want to see the right answer. This problem is way better if you get it for yourself, so keep working at it. I'm going to reveal the answer in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Now, the organization of the answers on this board and the answers on the physical circuit, they are not organized in the same order necessarily. So let's go back to this. Switch 1 on the far left of the board here, that is indeed the leftmost switch. You'll notice, according to that diagram, if switch 1 is open, everything will shut off. That indeed is what we see here. This switch, if it is open, everything shuts off, right? Back to the board. Same thing with unscrewing bulb A. Bulb A, unscrewed, or an open switch 1 have the same effect on the circuit. They break the continuous conducting path. Nothing else can be on. The other switch, on the other hand, which was further to the right when you looked at it before, that only turned on and off one bulb. Let's pay attention to that. Let me show you now what switch 2 is. Here's switch 2. When switch 2 is open, okay, let me explain what you're looking at right now because it might not translate to video. Dim, bright, dim. Open this switch, off, equal bright, not as bright as before. These two are now equally bright. This bulb then, and that switch, sorry, this bulb, what bulb was I pointing to? This bulb over here, the far left bulb in the physical circuit is bulb B, and that switch further to the right of the page must have been switch 2. That means the last bulb on the far right of your picture must have been bulb C. When bulb C, this guy, let's reset, dim, bright, dim. When this bulb is unscrewed, these two are now equally bright. That is bulb C. So imagine switch 2 being closed as it is on the physical circuit. When switch 2 is closed and switch 1 is closed, A and B are both two bulbs in series. We would expect them to be equally bright when bulb C goes away. So if A and B were in series, they would be equally bright. And likewise, when we unscrewed B, or when we opened switch 2, A and C were of equal brightness. With everything closed, switch-wise, and all bulbs in place, what we saw was that bulb A was brighter than bulbs B and C. Bulb A, brighter than B and C. Here goes. This then must be bulb A, and these guys are B and C, respectively. They are both currently dim, not nearly as bright as A. That's an example of the mystery circuit problem that I want you to solve. And again, take some time with it, re-observe and see if you can get to the correct solution that we just walked through. Thanks.